the fact that makes me happy is I did their first recording and it got through, it was fine. And the second time around, the owner of the jewelry said, no, I need the same voice of artist, I can't do it with somebody else. Wonderful. And that was like, oh wow. And that was a real wow experience. It is something that if you are really passionate about, pursuing it will definitely give you the results, and I am a proof. Anybody can do this course. Anybody. I think any gender, any age, any language, I think as long as you have the flair to talk.
Your first project, what experience எப்படி இருந்தது? And when you got the first payment, no? Yeah. So what did you feel?
It was great. It was very motivating because I must agree that it is very, very close to my heart because I got to do a lot of different voices. I mean, it was my voice, but for like 5-6 different people in the same script. Where you have Krishna on one side and then you have the Gopikas there and then you have Radha here, then you have somebody else, and I'm like, so many different voices and the narrator of the whole book. How actors feel happy standing in front of the camera and the whole world seeing them. I think for people like us who are very behind the screen, this is a great opportunity. People Wonderful. Listen to you. That's so good.
So how much have you earned so far in the voice career?
I think I've earned really well because usually you would think a side hustle would be something like maybe a 3K or a 4K a month or something, but that's not how it is. I think definitely 10 and above is something that you can easily make.
Wonderful.
See, a full-time job, yes, that's important to sustain, but this being paid for your passion, that's a great thing, and being paid really well. Because I think more than, see, I'm also into a lot of art stuff and all that. I sell all that thing, make a lot of handicraft stuff. But Adavada Jasti is here. Because this is just like a few seconds of your voice and right. You get paid a whole lot. But I think if you pursue, you practice really well, you will get paid really well for this. Super. This is a great profession to have. உங்களுக்கு கோர்ஸ் கொடுத்தது வந்து it was lesser than my one recording that I got paid for,
Wonderful.
So even if I were to say I made up for it like in half a recording. And there are a whole lot of opportunities. Like it's amazing because I registered once on LinkedIn and I had changed my profile to voiceover artist, and there's been such a lot of offers. So it's really got nothing to do with age. It's not that they always require a 25-year-old voice. Your projects require different kind of voices, and I think if you're able to modulate it.
So why do you think that jewelry guy came to you again for your voice?
Okay, ma'am. That's a proud moment, and he must have got good reviews, I guess. So his relatives and all that, they must have said that that's really kind, so you would have brought back for the same voice.
Because the answer is you became their brand's identity.
That sounds better. I'll use it the next time.
But how could you manage family, work and voice career? How could you manage?
There's nothing more to it. You just have to practice hard and pursue. There's no point completing this course, coming every weekend, finishing it, and then I'm like, yeah, okay. Now we'll see. Now what do? I don't know. There's no I don't know. You know what to do. You've done this so that you have an idea of how to go on. And you're also training people on how to go about it, get opportunity. Now what more do you want?
A major thing which has changed your life after this course, what would that be?
I think it has added a lot of confidence to myself, which was...
Welcome viewers. இன்னைக்கு வந்து we are going to interview one of our world of dubbing student. Multi-talented அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். நிறைய விஷயங்கள் வந்து பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு ஃபேமிலியும் பார்த்துட்டு she is pursuing her voice career and நிறைய ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அதை பற்றி எல்லாத்தையும் பற்றி பேசலாம். ஸோ வெல்கம் டு அவர் ஷோ. ஸோ வெல்கம் மகா. ஸோ தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் கம்மிங். இந்த வேர்ல்ட் ஆஃப் டப்பிங்கான ஸ்டூடெண்ட் இன்டர்வியூஸில் ஐ திங்க் யூ ஆர் த செகண்ட் பர்சன். தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் அக்செப்டிங் தட்.
I'm privileged.
அண்ட் எஸ், நீங்கள் வந்து எனக்கு தெரியும் உங்களை பற்றி. ஸோ ஆடியன்ஸுக்கு வந்து யூ கேன் கிவ் யுவர் இன்ட்ரோ.
Okay, so Mahalakshmi, And I started the dubbing thing. I mean, learning from Sir about almost 5-6 years. Perfect time lockdown la nanga kathukka aarambichom. We were the initial batches, so we were very privileged, to hear it like straight on from him and from you. And it was a fantastic experience. Upper one, of course, I was working from home. I was with the Hindu and I was working from home. And this this was amazing to know that you can actually use your own voice and you can get paid for it also, which is very good. So we started off with weekend training, and then we got a lot of opportunities. Adla try panni. Well, there were rejections initially, but then there were a lot of acceptance also. And from then I think that there's not been any stop. I've sort of shifted about a couple of jobs after that, but this still remains my passion. I think it's beautiful. Yeah.
Nice to hear. உங்களுடைய அந்த passion எப்போ வந்து அந்த profession ஆகும்போது what did you feel?
Like I said, it was really nice to get paid for your voice, where all that you do is either just scream at kids or scream at your husband. But then this really helped because, one, you learned a lot of things like modulate panala, and then when you talk, there's this pitch and all this, which you take for granted. But I think after the course, we realized that there are different ways of speaking, there are different tones of speaking, there are different ways of expressing, and that really helped. So whether it was to talk for a young girl or whether it was to talk for a serious lady, or whether it was professional dialogue or whether it was advertisements, they all have a different kind of tones, so all this really helped after the class. It made me realize that there's so much I can do with my voice. So it's been a constant. I mean, you got to pursue. இப்போ உங்கள் கோர்ஸ் முடிச்சுட்டு ஐம் லைக் ஓகே ஸோ ஐம் அ டப்பிங் ஆர்டிஸ்ட், தட்ஸ் ரியலி நாட் கோயிங் டு கெட் மீ எனிவே. அப்போ நீங்கள் தந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இல்லாமல் ஐவ் பீன் ட்ரைங் ஆன் லிங்க்டின் and a lot of other studios itself.
Nice.
So through that, I got a lot of offers.
Great.
And again, like I said, my voice is great for me, but not necessarily everybody should like it. So rejections are in plenty, but at the same time, offers are also plenty, and you get paid really well when they know you're serious about it, and you're doing a very good job with it. Naturally, you get paid for what you do.
Wonderful. How did you land up here? So எதனால நீங்க வந்து வாய்ஸ் ஆர்டிஸ்ட் ஆகணும்னு நினைச்சீங்க?
So it was actually not even an option in my life because இப்படி ஒரு profession இருக்குன்னே எனக்கு தெரியாது. I thought, okay, you have dubbing artists. You see movies and you think, oh, wow, that voice is nice. And you have someone specifically for Nayanthara, or, you listen to that voice and it's Nayanthara, but somebody else dubbing. And I always thought that was unachievable because I thought, okay, the ignorant me thought you had to be in the film industry to get into that. And I was like, okay, that's never going to happen. But when this ad of yours that I saw about being a dubbing artist and being able to give your voice, and I really wanted to try that. So not that I had any idea of how my voice is or how it sounds over anything for that matter, but I just wanted to give it a try. And I must also mention, being an introvert, this was a better option because then I don't have to face anyone. I can just be behind the screen and talk. So in that way, the course was very inspiring. Abdida, I applied for it. And then 4 hours of non-stop talking by you, and that really motivated me. So it really, really helped. At the end, you're also asked us to, send you samples of how would you be if you were a VJ or an RJ, and then how would you talk, in this situation. We had these 4 little samples and stuff to do, and that was really helpful. And the feedback that you provided. So I think all this made me feel confident that, I can still lend my voice and people can hear me. They don't need to see me, but they can still hear me. It feels really good. So, I applied for one of the jewelries. They were looking for something through one contact or the other. And that's how I sort of landed that offer. And the fact that makes me happy is I did their first recording and it got through, it was fine. And the second time around, the owner of the jewelry said, no, I need the same voiceover artist, Okay. I can't do it with somebody else. Wonderful. And that was like, oh, wow. And that was a real wow experience. So, and then from then on, not that I've got all the projects. There's been a lot of rejections, but it's just that it doesn't let you down because you just only want to keep doing better. So in kuda when there are projects and when I don't get it, and I ask you, can I know why? Because you really want to be better the next time around. It's not that I'm perfect, never, but you'd like to know why was it not accepted. Like the one that I did recently, and I was so keen, but then you were like, no, they want somebody who can speak Kannada. I'm like, duh. So yes, there are rejections, but then it is something that if you are really passionate about, pursuing it will definitely give you the results, and I am a proof.
Nicely put. So, what do you think? Who can do this course?
Anybody can do this course. Anybody. I think any gender, any age, any language. I think as long as you have the flair to talk, or maybe I wouldn't say communication part of it. The fact that you can maybe just read it out with the correct emotion, what is required in the text, I think anybody can.
Super. Yeah. So you told it is very good for introverts, but is it easy?
Of course.
Okay. So.
Like, see, it requires a lot of practice. Okay, like some people are blessed where you can just read with emotions. Some you got to practice and rehearse. Like now in the book Panarchakada, I remember you telling me, read this at home, practice well, come here and then do it. And that really helped.
Okay.
Because somewhere I'm like, oh, I can do it. It's okay, it's English, I can do it.
Yeah.
But no, I have to do it because then pronunciation mattered. The sentence structuring and the correct emotions there. I remember in the Pandrachakuda, you'd be like, can you try that in a different little tone, a little higher tone? And I'm like, oh, I should have practiced. So practice is definitely required and you will have to do it. Nobody can do it for you.
Yes. So, your first project, what experience எப்படி இருந்தது? And when you got the first payment, so what did you feel?
It was great. It was very motivating because I must agree that if I hadn't got even one by then, I would have been like, okay, so, my voice is not that great. Only I feel it's good. Probably like that. But the first, though it was a very small amount, I think the fact that you got paid for something that belongs to you, it's your voice that the world is hearing, or whoever the limited people, but they're listening to your voice, and when you listen to them listening, it's a fantastic feeling more than the amount. So I would say yes, the first project that I got and the part that I paid for it was very, very motivating. And from then on, I've not stopped. I try everything. Whether it's advertisements, whether it's audiobooks, which is really nice because then that has a long tenure.
So what is your favorite project and very close to heart na enna project sollu?
Vishnu Purana. So this book that was translated by Maha Taylor. So he's an Australian British author, I think. So he had translated the Sanskrit version to English. And it was called the Vishnu Purana. It had about 6 volumes.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah, that was long. So I think we started around May, June time and it went on till September. So I was working at that time and I had time only after 5:30. So I'd have to come to the studio, record, then go back. And you also have a longevity for the voice. I mean, I can't talk like you all day through. Okay. So I think 2 hours was my max. And after that, you would tell me, I think you're tired. I think your voice is going down. So yeah. Because of that, it went on, I guess, for about 4 months or something. But we completed those 6. And it was very, very close to my heart because I got to do a lot of different voices. I mean, it was my voice, but for like 5-6 different people in the same script. Where you have Krishna on one side and then you have the Gopikas there. And then you have Radha here. Then you have somebody else. And I'm like, so many different voices. And the narrator of the whole book where he's telling the story to someone. So I think I had this great opportunity to utilize or rather exploit my voice for all these different kind of people. And that was a great, great experience.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what made you to come and do this project? It is a very long project, you know that.
Yeah.
And every day or every weekend you want to travel.
Yeah.
And what made you to come? You could have rejected, right?
Yeah.
It's very difficult, sir. I cannot travel so many times.
True.
If it is a small project, I would do it very good. Yeah. So what made you to take up that?
I think it's the passion that I have for this because, like I said, it's my voice, and the fact that people are going to listen to my voice it's a big thing. like I say, when I get onto the metro and this lady says, Aditya idu varvada, I'm like, oh wow. And then she says that in Tamil, and then she says that in English, and she must feel so proud, and the whole Tamil Nadu is listening to her. And this, of course, is limited, but it's nice to feel that something that you have done or something that you have spoken is being listened to by so many other people. And see, he didn't have to, he only had to translate the book.
Yeah.
But the fact that he made it an audiobook and there are people listening to it, I mean, just, sit back and think he'd probably be listening to it with headphones and my voice. That's a big thing. It is an achievement, according to me.
Wonderful. Yes, it is an achievement indeed, because I think we auditioned. What was the audition process? Can you explain that?
Yeah. So I remember I was out of town, and you said there's this book that's come up. They're actually looking for male voices, but then we'll just give yours a try. So somewhere I was like, oh, my voice is pretty bass, so maybe that's why. That's the first thing that went into my mind. But then I'm like, it's okay, we'll try. So I sent it to you, and then you were like, it's okay, but there were a lot of disturbance. I was in Kerala, so there were a lot of disturbance. And then you said, can you come to the studio once and do it? So then I came, we got it recorded. And then the next day you were like, yeah, it's approved, let's go. And then you were like warning me, saying, listen, it's a long book. There's so many chapters. It's like 6 become like longer the better. It's fine. Because the part, it's like how actors feel happy standing in front of the camera and the whole world seeing them. I think for people like us, who are very behind the screen, this is a great opportunity. People
Wonderful.
listen to you. That's so good.
I am getting those visuals now. What we did earlier. So what other projects you have done? Apart from this?
Apart from this, this is, like I said, the most important. I've done for an app called the Maha app, which is where you can book trucks online for transport and stuff. So there, it's more like giving instructions. So I did about 6 or 7 clippings for their stuff.
Nice.
Then, like I said, the jewelry. And then I've done, I think with us itself, the real estate for properties.
Okay.
And then there was this electric scooter. I think they'd introduced in Hyderabad and they'd moved here.
Oh, is it? Okay. Nice.
It was a Hyderabad company that was doing it in Chennai. And like that, yes. Now, actually, I've lost count because I have done quite a few. But
Nice.
Vishnu Purana being my most important. So even at the Hindu, after I left the job, they called me back for voiceover.
Oh, is
I'm
it?
like, oh, this
Nice.
is better. So yeah, I got paid pretty well for that.
Oh,
So they
very
were like,
good, very good.
because when I was there, I would do it free
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm their
You
staff.
are-
And then when I left, they're like, so I said, no, this is my charge. I have checked with my sir. He knows this is my charge. And they were like, okay. But I got paid. It was good.
Okay, so talking about the charges. So how much have you earned so far in the voice career?
I think if you were to look at it as a side hustle, I mean, that's how I would
Yeah.
call it. I think I've earned really well because usually you would think a side hustle would be something like maybe a 3K or a 4K a month or something, but that's not how it is. I think definitely 10 and above is something that you can easily make.
Wonderful.
See, a full-time job, yes, that's important to sustain. But this being paid for your passion, that's a great thing, and being paid really well. Because I think more than, see, I'm also into a lot of art stuff and all that. I sell all that things, make a lot of handicraft stuff. But Adavada Jasti is here because this is just like a few seconds of your voice and
Right.
you get paid a whole lot. But I think if you pursue, you practice really well, you will get paid really well for this. This is
Super.
a great profession to have. Yeah.
Wonderful. Because many people are saying that, sir, we are doing for free. Can we get a chance? Something like that.
Yeah.
So what do you suggest to
Don't
those
do it
people?
free, please. Don't do it free. Free has no value. So even if you charge just $500 for that 1 second, it is your voice. You need to charge for it. Otherwise, there is no value. Because see, the cost that you do when you initially charge them, you could have just done it free. You're just doing it. But then only because you charge for it and we paid for it, we had that value to attend it
Exactly.
and pursue it. இப்போ நான் உங்களுக்கு கோர்ஸ் கொடுத்தது வந்து it was lesser than my one recording that I got paid for.
Wonderful.
So even if I were to say I made up for it like in half a recording. So
the Vishnu Purana, your favorite project, how much did you get for that?
oh, I got paid really well because it was close to about 2.8 or 2.9 for 1 hour.
Okay.
And I think we did about some 28, 30 hours of recording.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah. And that's in a span of 4 months, mind
4
you.
months.
Other 4 months on the because I had work and I could come only for 2 hours and a little bit on the weekends and
Right.
the longevity of my voice. So otherwise, maybe in 2 months I could have made that money.
Yeah,
You know?
super.
Yeah.
So how long do you take for ads and corporate films? What is the time duration you work?
Not much at all. See, you give a sample. And one thing I think very important for all voiceover artists to do is if you want to try different fields, make a sample of all the fields. If you are like fluent in more than 2-3 languages, record in all 2-3 languages and keep samples ready. Because whenever you ask me, I have, okay, the Malayalam's here, the Tamil's here, the Hindi is here. So it's just easy to send it to you. Or you should be smart enough to have scripts where you can record at that time and send, which is what sometimes I do, because I feel, okay, the part such. Right now my voice is different. So I'll send you a new one. But you need to be, spot on with it. Samples, you got to have samples ready. You got to keep practicing. And yeah, that's most important. Practicing is very important for this. Yeah.
And what about your first Malayalam project?
That was about, again, a story. I think a book that I had to read out, and then it was correct. I mean, I was a little skeptical because I'm more proficient in English. So though Malayalam is half my mother tongue, it's still not very, I was always very skeptical doing it. But that came out pretty well. Yeah.
So what are the comments you got from the clients so far? So doing various projects, right?
Yeah,
Corporate films, ads, audiobooks in various languages also. So apart from getting the comment from sound engineer or studio here, so what is the comments you got from outside?
I think it was, touch wood, it's been good so far. So like I said, where the jewelry owner wanted my voice again. And then even with the Vishnu Purana book, we had this live session with the author. That was beautiful. And it was so nice for him to appreciate at the end, like both of us for that matter, where he appreciated that, it's really nice that you're able to emote while you speak. Like, how do you do that? I'm like, this is the best recognition. Paisa vanda. So I think, so far it's been great. People have commented.
Very good, very
and my family's also been very, very supportive. So they send all my clippings to the family, and they've all had great reviews on it.
So please talk about your family. So many people are skeptical that if I go to this media industry, it might not be safe. My family might not accept, and they are having this idea in this mind. So what would you say to them?
So first of all, I wouldn't put you under media category, because for me, media category is like social media, which is not right. See, this particular studio, as I said, I think it's a complete class and a level apart. Because initially, yes, naturally, when I said that, I've got to go to the studio for recording, people are like, okay, so where is the studio? Who all are there? What would you be doing? So I said, you want to come along? So I said, no, you go. So I came first, and then I was like, oh, this is lovely. So I went back and I said, I think it's a perfect setup. So I must tell people that, see, I can't talk about other studios because I've not been there. I've either done home recordings or I've done here. And like I said, this is my comfort zone. So every time I get an offer, or if they want studio, I'm like, oh, I have a studio in CIT Naga. I'll get it recorded there. Nice. So that's what I do, because the comfort level here and the way you've always been with me and the staff here, I think it's perfect. Like I wouldn't want to lie. I think I'm at ease. I feel safe, and there's none of these unwanted things that people are skeptical about. I must say that very truly, because after 5 years, I still come back here.
Yeah, yes, right.
And my family also, for the Vishnu Purana, my husband, my sons, they were all here in the other room launching, listening to me record. So, and it was not because they had a problem with the studio. It was because they enjoyed the comfort. Right. My husband would always say that, oh, you're going to Sudarshan? That's fine. It was like that. Right. So I must say that is always maintained. And
Thanks a lot. And when talking about your family, so were they initially supporting you?
Of course.
Or after some time they increased their support, or how was it?
No, so when they know the kind of introvert that I am, so they were like, you want to do a course? Not bad. So they encouraged me first, and when they knew it was voiceover, they must have felt that I can do it. So my husband was like, just go. It's okay. If you get it, it's really good. And if you're going to get paid, even better. So they were like happy with the course that I did. In fact, the course that I did with you was on my husband's birthday.
Oh,
So after the
wonderful.
cake cutting, I sat down for the course. It was 24 May 2020, I think so. Just out of the lockdown stuff.
Yes.
So I did that, and the next day I sent the samples, and I mean I was very hopeful. You know, for somebody like me to
Nice.
think that okay, I can also do this. It's a big thing. And not everybody has that self-confidence in this thing, and you know, so but for people who are like at a little low and not sure what if they can, this is really helpful and very motivating. From then on, they have been through every journey of mine. So this last time when I had to send
Yeah.
you the thing, so I'd called him from the office saying the vet sir has asked me to do this, I'll have to come back home and I'll do it. So as soon as I walked in, he's like, go send him the recording. I'm like, who? Is he supposed to send a sample? I'm like, oh, okay, you remember better. So that's how it is. People in
Great.
house are completely supportive, and I must also say it's because of the studio. See, like I still can't watch fathers and the other studios or other people in the other industry, but this has been always my comfort and safe zone.
So thanks a lot to her family. So still supporting. So I request everyone to support their family members, be it your wife, sister, son or daughter or husband. So please ask them to pursue their passion. Not only in this voiceover field, they might have passion in any field.
Correct.
So it's a wonderful thing when you support someone. No, it will grow multifold.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. And uh, again, very big appreciation for her family. So thanks a lot. So in these 5 years, right? So once you finish the course, so did you think, okay, tomorrow we will become an artist, or how it happened?
Okay.
And what is the time you invested?
Yeah, I must tell you that. So though I finished the course in May, it's only by November, December that I got that first jewelry thing.
Okay.
And the Vishnu Purana was the next year
Next
in May.
year.
So it took me one whole year to be sort of established. You know, I'm still not established, but then sort of get there. But you really need to pursue. So, I mean, imagine how many rejections I would have gone through that year. So that was up to me whether to think, okay, my voice is bad, I'm not going to do it. That course was a waste of time. Or to think that it's okay, big deal. He didn't like it. I know I can do it. Let's keep trying. And there are a whole lot of opportunities. Like it's amazing because I registered once on LinkedIn and I had changed my profile to voiceover artist. And there's been such a lot of offers. Okay, now it's up to you, your wisdom to figure out what's a scam
Right.
and what isn't, who are true and who isn't. So that makes a lot of difference. But then you got to be really careful about the payment part, about sending your samples. You know, some people might just send like a book or a paper, something. You just read it and send it. Don't send the whole thing off because you don't even know what they're going to do with
Yes.
it. So you got to be quite careful choosing your projects and your assignments. Very important. And yes, it has taken me a good 1 year to at least say that, yeah, I've done well. But that's because I kept working. If I had finished your course and if I hadn't got the thing next day, and I would have been like, oh, what a waste of time, I would have still been sitting at home saying a waste of time. Yeah, so.
நைஸ். இப்போ நிறைய பேர் வந்து எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஏஜ் ஆயிடுச்சு, நான் இதை படிக்க முடியுமா சார், என்னோட ஏஜுக்கு எனக்கு வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்குமா, will I get offers, இப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு டவுட் இருக்கு. ஸோ வாட் டு யூ திங்க் ஆன் தட்?
So நான் 35ல நான் ஆரம்பிச்சு 43 வரைக்கும் நான் பண்ணிட்டு தான் இருக்கேன். So there's nothing to do with age. So I think anybody can do it. So it's really got nothing to do with age. It's not that they always require a 25-year-old voice. Your projects require different kind of voices. And I think if you're able to modulate it, like I really envy these people who can do these cartoon characters. Who are lovely. Whether it's that, I don't forget the name of the cartoon characters now, Dora or Buji or whatever. The fact that they can make that, that's so good. And I think if you're able to modulate it to suit the clients, I mean, age really doesn't matter. Like I said, you're not being seen. You're only being heard.
Yes, nice. Yeah. And when you travel, have you done any projects? Is it very, very much required? You have to be in Chennai, or how is that?
No,
how does that happen?
No, see, I think if you can manage a quiet place, and these days you get all sort of mics and stuff that cut off, you know, the noise and all that. If you can manage to do that, you can just send a recording. How do these other people, singers and all, send from different countries? Okay, we're not that big, but we can still manage. I have always sent samples from different parts of the world. You know, like when I was in Kerala, like I said, when I was attending my mom's this thing, I had to do it. See, one place, the fact that the jewelry guy wanted my own voice and I couldn't disappoint him, and then I had just buried my mother. And so you're like wondering what to do. But then I did find a spot. I recorded and I sent and I got approved. So it's how you want to do it. If you have the interest, you have the passion, you want your voice to be heard, you have to work hard. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Like,
Wonderful.
you can give me a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
It's up to me.
So why do you think that jewelry guy came to you again for your voice?
Okay, now that's a proud moment. But then I think, I'm not sure why, but I think probably the first time around it must have worked well for him. So because it's the first time he was doing. And then he did it, and he must have got good reviews, I guess. So his relatives and all that, they must have said that that's really kind. So he would have brought him back for the same voice.
Because the answer is you became their brand's identity.
Ah, that sounds better. I'll use it the next time.
So big brands, right? Big ad agencies, big brands, they use the same voice even after 5-6 years because that will easily connect with their clients.
Correct.
Even before you say something, when the voice starts, right, they could understand, oh, this ad.
Yeah.
So that is the power of voice. So even if they don't like, if the client likes, they have to put your voice. So you have become the brand identity of that particular jewelry. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And
That's a nice way of looking at it.
Of course. And what made you to pursue for other opportunities? We are giving some opportunities. We are posting in groups and you are applying for that.
Yeah.
So other opportunities.
Because see, once I've realized that I can use my voice, and like it's more like pursuing my passion. I don't want to limit it to like one place alone. I'm getting your opportunities, that's perfect. This suits me, it's comfort zone, perfect. But I would also like to try other places and try different platforms as well, because it's my voice and it's a learning thing. It's not that this is how I speak and okay, this is what you have to put up with. No. They might not want to put up with it unless I work or do better or modulate. So I like to challenge myself as well and grow every day. There's no point sticking in just one place. And as long as you're only in your comfort zone, you never grow.
Yes.
So,
but how could you manage family, work and voice career? How could you manage?
See, I think again this voice part is something it's actually quite easy if you can and if you want to. Like, if you want to, you really can get it done. So I have like a set time at work, 9 to 5. Let's say I'm home by about 5:30. And if the studio is available for recording, I come directly from the office, I get this done. And maximum only 2 hours. After that, I can't last anyway. So you come, finish that, then you get back home. And most importantly, you need to have a supporting family. That's what I would say with especially our Indian families. It's important to have a supporting family where they understand that you're doing this, you're going for that also. And you're not just following your passion, that is your personal interest, but you're also providing for the family. And I think it's fine. It's perfect. It's up to the family also. And also up to you to see if you can do that extra bit. If you are okay to go out of your way to get things done. And it's not that you're recording every day and night. You get an opportunity, finish it, get it done, it's done. Try for the next one. So I think it's,
Nice. So how many projects you can do in a month? What do you think?
So I think it would depend upon the duration. Like if it's like an audiobook or something that lasts for a long time, then maybe I could probably just do 2 or 3 audiobooks a month. But if it's these ads and these small stuff, I think you can probably just do one every 2 days. I don't think it's an issue at all.
Right.
Yeah. It's just you need to, of course, you need to take care of your voice as well. You can't do a lot of things like smoking if there are people involved in it, and then cold stuff. You got to be a little careful. The dust allergy, the cold stuff. I remember during our book thing itself, I had fallen ill for like a week, and we lost that time. So you get very upset with yourself because you really wanted to do it. So you got to be careful of that also.
Nice.
It's,
So to sum up, so what do you want to say to the new upcoming artists who want to come into this industry?
Okay. So firstly, I'm very glad they've chosen this. Secondly, you really have to work towards, getting where you want to be if you're passionate about it. And I wouldn't suggest that, okay, you leave your current job and get into this. No, you stay there, do that, get into this. If you feel that, once you become established and you think you are going to get projects, then it's up to you. But consider this as side hustle more than your permanent income, because then you're not disappointed either ways. It's because your voice is not going to remain the same always. Like an actor, you're not going to be the same always. So it can change. Things can go wrong. So that's one. But pursue, try different platforms, try different genres, keep trying, keep challenging yourself. And yeah, I think there's nothing more to it. You just have to practice hard and pursue. There's no point completing this course, coming every weekend, finishing it, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, now we'll see. Now what do? I don't know. There's no I don't know. You know what to do. You've done this so that you have an idea of how to go on. And you're also training people on how to go about it, get opportunities. And what more do you want? You know?
Right.
And the current batches are so lucky, like I told you. We feel like boomers now. We've been here for so long. But these current batches get a lot of benefits. It's really good.
But the passion everyone has is the same. So it's not about the number of batches or number of people. So, but the opportunities has been increasingly like anything. It is exponential now.
Exactly.
When you came into the picture, it was like 10 to 20%.
Correct.
Now it is like 70-80% of opportunities.
A whole lot. Yeah. I mean, they're so lucky. There's so many opportunities. Yeah.
Good. Thanks a lot, Maha. So
Thank you very much.
Coming here and sharing your career in voice. So welcome to the world of dubbing is usually I say after the course is done. So now you are into the world of dubbing. So what would you say a major thing which has changed your life after this course? What would that be?
I think it has added a lot of confidence to myself, which was not really much there. But then the fact that I can also do it, and I think it really makes me feel confident about myself that no, I can do it. So it's like one trait that I don't have to borrow from anyone. I don't have to use anybody else's things. It's within me. And when I am able to, display it and get the world to hear it, I think it adds a lot to one's confidence. It makes you feel quite good and self-dependent.
May you give a lot of confidence to our students and other viewers.
Thank you.
So by sharing your journey. Because everyone are like, will we get an opportunity?
Of course, just keep trying.
That is the major thing. As you said, confidence is very, very important.
Yeah.
Even if you get an opportunity or get a rejection, you have to face it and go to the next opportunity. So thanks a lot, Maha, for sharing your journey, and hope it inspires a lot of people to come into this field.
It's a lovely field, yes.
All the best. Thank you.